Anthony and myself, I'm Hispanic. Anthony's black. Anthony, do you feel oppressed?
Yeah, life sucks right now.
All right, folks. Here we are. We are reporting. This is actually our number 001 podcast. We're transmitting live from each of our locations, but basically we are the Alamance GOP News, and we are proud to actually bring to you the facts and news and everything that is happening in Alamance County regarding our political movements. Not only to trash and make fun of our opponents. They're doing that themselves. Let's go, Brandon. So basically, we want to do this in a regular basis in order for us to be able to know and able to exchange ideas and opinions in terms of everything that is happening in Alamance County, the political scene and social, and everything that we can actually help each other understanding the whole environment that we're living in when it comes to law and order and constitutional rights and things that many people say that they're not political. However, if you're not political, if you don't know about your politics, guess what? The political stuff will take over your life. So we're here basically to educate and to put our differences on the side and being able to educate one another. Okay, so tonight I have the pleasure to introduce you a guy that I consider my friend, my brother, and he's basically a leader in our community now. Without further introduction, Tony, tell us about yourself.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Anthony Brooks. I am the leader of the Black Conservative Voices chapter in Alamance County. I've been in Graham for over 2 years. I'm a veteran of the United States Army, 15 years of service, happily married to a beautiful wife, Mamie Brooks. A lot of you have already met her already.
Okay, so Anthony, tonight's can you read for us what's tonight's title for this podcast?
Absolutely. Tonight's title is, one second, I got you. Tonight's title of tonight's conversation is What the Local Socialist Democratic Candidates Do Not Want You to Know.
Okay, so basically, let's analyze a little bit, and we're gonna do this brief, all right? So we don't want to extend 45 minutes or an hour talking about the same subject. So basically, let's focus on what is it that your social democratic candidates don't want you to know here in Alamance County. Okay, the reason why we say that is because I've been talking to Anthony, I've been talking to some other people around, and it's noticeable that we are not only facing politicians or day-to-day people. These people are activists.
Absolutely.
Okay? These are people that they've been working hard with non-profit organizations. Okay, that they lean to the left, meaning right. They have more taste and the way how they move and the way how they interact and the way how they express. It's very, very socialistic, to say the least. All right. So I personally came from communism. All right. I came from Venezuela, South America. One of the richest places, one of the richest countries in the world, turned out to be crappy because the acceptance of social democratic movement, such as like we're seeing right now, United States of America, and everything turned down to basically nothing to less than crap. Okay, I'm sorry that I'm using this language, but it's the truth. Nowadays, in my country, in my former country, people are basically looking through garbage. Okay, in order for them to be able to feed themselves, you see kids, in the streets, not only begging but actually eating trash. Okay, in one of the richest places in the world that I still, have the biggest oil reserves in the world. So, what is that your local social democratic candidate doesn't want you to know? Okay, so what would be the first topic, Anthony?
I want to talk about a real topic that I think is pretty much on the surface of all of this. Racial justice, or okay, social justice. Let's call it social justice. I think that's the biggest issue that we got going on. And when I say issue, not issue as in racial problems. I'm referring to the propaganda. And when people hear the word socialist, Omar, this is the problem I think that people are having. I see it all the time. They look at socialism as, oh, just one term. They don't understand that it consists of multiple different little things. And the multiple different little things that they see going around us today is actually socialism. And I don't think they're putting it all together. So all I want to do is take a really quick second and talk about how they're using the social justice as part of a takeover.
Right.
All right. Really quick. From what I see through the opposition candidates, okay, is basically spewing propaganda and piggybacking off a movement. And what I mean by that is look at some of the things that they're doing. They're spreading voter suppression rhetoric. One of the candidates, one of her things that this individual's known for is marching people to the polls or whatever the case is.
Right.
But wait a minute. Now you're saying the voices are being silent. How can the voices be being silent when you personally led them to the polls?
So basically, they keep pushing the racial card. They keep pushing you're being oppressed.
Right.
You're black. You're Hispanic. Right. You're a minority. You're being oppressed. For you, come on, man. I mean, really? I mean, really? Anthony, and myself. I'm Hispanic. Anthony's black. Anthony, do you feel oppressed?
Yeah, life sucks right now. Well, I'll be honest with you. I've been feeling oppressed the last 6 months. Ever since 2020, ever since the inauguration.
With this new administration putting gas, to the roof, and the price of food, and I mean, jobs are scarce, and come on, man, this is oppression. This is a real oppression. So I mean, social justice really in United States of America, when anybody can actually go to school, graduate, go, get a job in 2 weeks, you get a paycheck, you pay for rent, you get ahead. Come on, man. I came from socialism. Anthony has seen socialism. Anthony is a veteran, right, Anthony?
Absolutely.
So we've seen the consequences of socialism. So come on, this is part of an agenda. All right, absolutely. This is part of an agenda to being able to use movements and channels in order for them to be able to conquer the political sphere in suburban cities, suburban places such as Alamance County. Right. Okay, by taking over these small municipalities, then they're able to control the educational system. So that's why we see all these push to control the educational system, to indoctrinate young people, alienate their minds. So in 20 years, these people won't even fight for their rights. Okay, absolutely. Defund the police. Come on. So whenever you get, I mean, a crime is committed, who are you going to call? A social worker? A drug addict? I mean, a crack addict? Okay. Come on.
And you see that going on nationwide. Let's take Austin, Texas, for an example. They have now sent out a memo to their citizens, certain calls they can only respond to. That's tragic, and it's going on in other cities too. And, so obviously defund the police is not a common sense logic, but it was part of the movement and was a popular thing when the George Floyd, whatever, transpired.
Again, because they were pushing for social justice.
Absolutely. Right?
But let's be honest here, Anthony. Okay, it's the same thing when people tell me, "Oh, but what do you think about people crossing the border?" I'm like, "Well, but that Hispanics are not. First off, Hispanics aren't the only ones, crossing the border. Second of all, we cannot have an open border, policy. I came from those type of policies. Therefore, we ended up having, good immigrants and really bad immigrants.
Absolutely.
I'm an immigrant myself. But in order for me to be here, I pay money. It was time. I invested a lot of money. It was a lot of time. Following the rules, never getting in trouble. Okay, passing a test that as a matter of fact, many Americans weren't able to pass. Okay, so I mean, pay your taxes. Okay, it wasn't free. So
Absolutely.
for somebody just to come here, cross the border, okay, I understand you're having some situations in your country of origin. I get it. Okay, but there is a process. There is a process in
Absolutely.
place. This is a
Absolutely.
this is a country, a nation of law and order. We need to follow those laws and orders in order for us to be able to protect our property, our families, and in our country. Okay.
Absolutely.
But again, social justice. Yeah, okay, you're being oppressed, you're being diminished, you're being racially profiled, you're being killed. All these stuff that they're trying to push in Alamance County. Okay.
Absolutely.
So the second issue we would like to talk about, okay, that many people don't know, and especially people that always say that they're not politics, and they don't get involved into politics. That always, I'm sorry, but it blows my mind, because you guys are Americans, okay? You guys are. I mean, we are Americans. We are Americans. We enjoy this freedom, okay? But sometimes many people don't appreciate it. So in order for you to keep appreciating this freedom and enjoy the fruits of this freedom, you need to know how money gets spent in your cities. That's why it's important. Or what do you say about that, Tony?
Well, that's very important how money gets spent in your cities. And I was at a school board meeting a few days ago, and people don't understand that, again, municipal elections have big time consequences as well. And the local, especially when I say municipal elections, I mean like your city council, stuff like that. And I saw in the meeting
the mayoral race.
The mayor race is vital. Yeah, I'm sorry, I did forget about that one. That one,
I'm here to remind you. I'm here to remind you.
I can't even begin to tell you how vital that is. That's, in my opinion, is probably one of the most important municipal races. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But anyway, how money is transferred. And if you look at the Burlington schools within the city, I did some of the schools, and money, the way they disperse money within schools is not equally done. Some schools get more money than other schools and all these different things. And money being spent, like, let's go, for example, last year, 2021, Burlington. They chose to spend money on green projects, investing in green plants, and transforming the police report. Their police department. Those are the two top money agendas. Forget about the roads. Forget about the schools and the renovating. Forget about public safety. That's out the door. Forget about buses that run for longer than 20 minutes.
So let's talk about this in these last 2 minutes, okay? And the reason why we're doing this, okay? We got pretty good candidates out there. Things are so bad in Burlington, okay? In the city of Burlington, all right? Followed by Graham, okay? Followed by Mebane and then Gibsonville and these other areas, okay? But things are so bad in Burlington, dude, that we have our Republican candidate, which is Jim Butler, running next to an affiliated, okay? And also a Democrat, okay? So Jim Butler is running for our mayor, to become a mayor. Okay, he's been a city council. He's been an excellent city council, all right? And then, things are so bad that he decided to run with an unaffiliated and actually a Democrat in order for us to be able to get rid of Ian Baltutis.
Right.
Okay? A guy that has marched with, the local Black Lives Matter movement, okay? He said that he's non-partisan, but every time he's out and about and protesting and all the stuff, he's wearing the Biden, supporting Biden and Kamala Harris. So
right.
And not only that, but all the policies that he has, come up with.
Absolutely.
In reality, he hasn't done anything for this city, to the point that actually the Burlington police force is actually quitting and taking a cut off to go and work at some other cities, because they can't stand working for this guy. And so pushing division everywhere. Come on, man. We gotta think about these things.
And and that's another thing. And if you look at what he did last year, his number one thing was pretty much attacking and transforming the police department. Meanwhile, look at the crime rate in Burlington. Does he have to go live in them crime areas? No. Absolutely not. That's the disconnect between him and the citizens of Burlington, and that makes no sense.
One of the conversations I have with our candidates, and we all agree. It's amazing. It's hard to agree with at least one point when you have different mentalities and different personalities. But one of the things that we agree all together is basically putting Alamance County in the path for wealth. But with candidates like these activists, these social democratic activists, not only in Burlington, such as Ian Baltutis, but also in Graham, with all these social activists, socialistic activists, and all these nonprofit organizations saying that they're gonna protect and give and free this and free that, and they're gonna protect the rights of American citizens already. And I understand. We got some illegal folks here, or I get it. But this is a matter of education.
Right.
It's a matter of education. I mean, you have a need, educate yourself, on how to actually resolve it and take action. Okay, but for somebody to tell me, that you're gonna come and protect me, that you care for me, okay, nothing is free. There's nothing free out there. There is always an intention, and that's exactly what these American communists are bringing to the scene. I'm gonna keep calling them out, and this is actually how we're gonna start this podcast.
Yes.
To keep bringing the truth, to keep bringing people to the light, because the truth is, there's nothing more powerful than the truth. Okay, my father used to say the truth is like a roaring lion. It's like a wild lion. All you need to do is release it. It will defend itself. So that's what we're here for. Do you agree with that, Tony?
Absolutely, sir.
Gotcha. So we're here, guys. We're fighting. We're fighting the good fight. We need your help. We need volunteers to not only knock on doors, but making phone calls on the day of the polls. We need people for all these municipalities. Okay, we need people for Burlington, for the city of Burlington, to help us with Jim Butler and everybody in his ticket. We need help with in Graham with Jennifer Talley. That's actually your city, right, Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Have you talked to Jennifer Talley? What do you think about her?
I think she's great. I think she should run Graham, in my opinion, and I think she should win this election by a landslide.
Tony, you know what they say about Jennifer, about Jennifer Talley and her family, that they're racist.
Blah blah blah. They call me the black face of KKK too, so whatever.
Well, I'm a white supremacist.
Yeah, I got called one at that meeting. So whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, Jennifer Talley, what an adorable family, man, and I mean, her family, her kids, and all the businesses that they're being able to sustain in especially during the past 2 years, economy. Okay, they were able to sustain all that heavy weight, all that damage.
Absolutely.
Done to our economy, and they're fighting, man. So right. why we don't vote for somebody who's not a politician, but actually
going to fight?
Right.
Absolutely.
So on her ticket, we got Bobby Chin, we got Joy Pearson, and what else? We got Charles Lopez, representing the Latino community, but also the Republican Latino community in Mebane. Good for Charles. We're actually friends. We got Roger Parker, a veteran when it comes to legislation and policy and actually the city. And then we got people in Gibsonville too, such as Paul Thompson. There's also somebody on his ticket. Let's reach out to them. We're gonna go ahead and post, all the phone numbers and everybody that you need to contact in order for you guys to be able to help them out. All right, but we need volunteers. We need people that can be there, not only knocking doors, making phone calls, but actually at the voting centers on November 2nd, when it's the last day, when it's actually the election date for our municipal vote. So, guys, without further saying, Anthony, you want to add something else?
Yes, I just want to say again, when the municipal mayor elections, if you live in the city of Graham, vote for Jennifer Talley. I personally endorse her for Black Conservative Voices, Alamance GOP. Jim Butler. If you're in Burlington, vote for Jim Butler. Again, I personally endorse this man for mayor of the city of Burlington.
There you go. Two other things I wanna add. Green Level and Elon. Okay, we need candidates over there. So if for the future years, okay, if you want to run for these two cities, come on over, man. Okay, you need representation, you need help, you need education, you need training. Come here. We got all that. Not only that, but we got an amazing. I'm sorry, this way. we got an amazing Black conservative leader. Okay, knowledgeable. Okay, a veteran, an expert. Okay, Anthony, what is it that you study?
Political science, sir.
Okay, we're here. We're here to serve. We're fighting the fight. We're working hard. So let's make it happen. All right.
Good.
I came from communism, guys. I know. I've seen this movie happening, in Spanish. All right. Now I can see it in English. All right. Shout out for my brothers and sisters in all the other counties, especially to Jonathan Huskadegi running in New Hanover County for city council. He's fighting the best fight. I mean, he's running that campaign like Trump, man, and like a presidential campaign. And
shout out to my chairman in Carrabas County, Ali.
Abdul Ali. There you go, brother.
Abdul Ali.
And also, man, we need to keep our lieutenant governor in prayers, and yes. We need to keep pushing, our good leaders, up, not around. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for your time. You have a good night. Have a good day, depending on the time that you see this podcast. But all right, let's.